During our family dinner with my parents and sister, my wife's phone rang and a man's voice said, "Hey babe, are we still on for the cabin this weekend?" She immediately hung up and told everyone, "Wrong number, I don't know who that was." When I asked to see her phone, she refused and said I was being paranoid and controlling. Then I pulled out something that made her face go completely white. "Austin, I was confused about what I wanted." "You weren't confused. You were manipulative. You wanted to have an affair without taking responsibility for ending your marriage, so you told Derek that I already knew and approved." My mother, who had been quietly processing everything, finally spoke up. "Lauren, I need you to understand how serious this is. You haven't just betrayed Austin, you've destroyed the trust that holds this family together." "Mom, please don't lecture me," Lauren said defensively. "I'm not lecturing you," my mother replied firmly. "I'm telling you that your choices have consequences, and those consequences affect your children as well as your husband." That night, after my family left and we'd put the kids to bed, Lauren and I had the most difficult conversation of our marriage. "Austin, I know what I did was wrong, but I need you to understand how lonely I've been." "Lauren, loneliness doesn't justify lying and cheating. Adult married people talk about their problems and work together to solve them. I tried to talk to you, but you're always so busy with work. Show me one conversation where you told me you were unhappy enough to consider ending our marriage." She couldn't, because there hadn't been any such conversations. "Lauren, what were you planning to do? Continue the affair indefinitely while lying to both Derek and me?" I was trying to figure out what I wanted. By lying to everyone involved instead of making honest choices? "Austin, can we go to counseling? Can we try to work this out?" "I don't know," I said honestly. "Right now, I don't trust anything you say. You've been lying to me for 2 months about where you've been, who you've been with, and how you feel about our marriage. But we have children together. We have a family. You should have thought about that before you decided to have an affair." The next week was a blur of difficult conversations and painful decisions. I took time off work to process what had happened and figure out what I wanted to do about our marriage. I spent hours going through all the evidence I'd collected, not just the text messages and photos, but also credit card statements showing charges for hotels, restaurants, and gifts that Lauren had been giving to Derek using our shared accounts. In total, Lauren had spent over $8,000 of our family's money on her affair, money that should have been going toward our children's needs, our mortgage, and our family's future. But the financial betrayal was secondary to the emotional devastation of learning that the woman I'd trusted with my heart, my home, and my children's well-being had been living a double life for months. Update 1, 2 weeks later. Lauren moved out of our house and is staying with a friend while we figure out our next steps. She's been asking for another chance and promising that she'll end things with Derek permanently, but I'm not sure I can trust her promises given how extensive her deceptions were. Derek, to his credit, sent me a written apology explaining that he genuinely believed Lauren was separated and would never have gotten involved with a married woman. He's offered to speak with a lawyer or counselor if it would help verify his account of what Lauren told him. I've consulted with a divorce attorney to understand my options. Arizona is a community property state, but Lauren's financial misconduct during the affair, spending marital assets on her boyfriend, could work in my favor during property division. The most difficult part has been explaining to our 4-year-old daughter why mommy is staying somewhere else. We've told her that mommy and daddy are working through some problems and that it's not her fault, but it's heartbreaking to see her confusion and sadness. Update 2, 1 month later. Lauren has been attending individual counseling and has asked if I'd be willing to try marriage counseling together. I've agreed to a few sessions, not because I'm ready to reconcile, but because I want to understand how she justified her choices and whether she's genuinely taking responsibility for what she did. In our first counseling session, Lauren admitted